I don't want you to continue being frustrated and waste your potential. If you're trying to start a business because you hate the life that you're living, you want to quit your job, or you need to change something, there's one thing that you have to do that is going to get you over that hump, and that is being able to fail in public. Most people are terrified of failing in public because they don't want people to see that they made a mistake. It's natural. That's completely normal, and you have to accept that. But if you're trying to start a business, the only way that you're going to be able to have success is by making mistakes. The only way you can learn the lessons you need to learn to be successful in a business is by making those mistakes. And unfortunately, the only way you can do that is if you're doing it publicly. I want you to have the dream life, the best life that you could ever imagine living. Most likely that's going to be involved with you having your own business and controlling the hours that you put in, your destiny, your schedule, all that stuff. And you have to take chances to be able to make that work. Now think of a baby. A baby learns how to walk by making mistakes over and over and over again. But what if that baby was too afraid to fall down in front of his mom or dad? He would never learn how to walk. But fortunately, babies don't have the same mindset as we do as adults. They're still very young, and they're not thinking about, oh, somebody's going to see me make a mistake and be embarrassed. No, they're just thinking about, oh, wow, I just stood up and now I took a step. They take that first step and then they fall down because their balance was off in one way or the other. So then they can stand up again and try to take another step and then another step. And it progresses from there. And then eventually that baby not only knows how to walk, but it also starts running. That is just like your business. You got to start walking before you can run. And once you start running is where everything really starts to work. I've helped over 100 people start businesses. And the common thread that I see with all of those people that have success and all the people that don't have success is the ones that start to succeed are the ones that are willing to try and make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. Then there's a whole group of other people who never even get started because they're just too afraid to make that first phone call or to try because somebody might ridicule them for some reason. But you have to let that stuff go. You can't be sitting there thinking in your head, what if somebody sees me fail? You have to just be willing to go for it because you're not doing this for somebody else. You're doing this for yourself and you're doing this for your family. So you have to be willing to take the chances to move forward and learn the mistakes you need to learn to grow this business. Now, I started making YouTube videos a little over a year ago. And if you go back and scroll all the way to the very beginning and you watch my first few videos, I was definitely horrible. The only way that I can improve my skills on YouTube is by making videos, editing those videos, and then going back and trying again. And it's the same process with any other business that you're trying to start. The really exciting thing is that once you grow one business and you have some sort of success, you're going to have new challenges that are presented to you once you try to start that second or that third or that fourth business. Everything is a learning experience in this, and if you continue working on it, you're eventually going to get to the point where you're making money. And the whole goal is to be able to quit your 9-to-5 job, because who wants to work 9 to 5 every single day, answer to a boss, ask when they can take a vacation, ask when you can have a sick day. All these things, it's just not designed for the way that people want to live. You have to start somewhere. And what it ends up coming down to is pain. The pain of you being in the same position day after day, month after month, year after year has to finally be so big that it exceeds the pain that you get from trying something different. In order to make progress, you have to be frustrated enough to the point where you're willing to accept the pain of failure. And without the failure, you're never going to learn what you need to learn to grow this business. So the question isn't, are you ready? The question is, are you willing to be seen trying? Because that's where everything needs to start.